Hello, my name is Nicholas Polimanakos. I work behind the scenes here at NORWAC, help with social media, and I deal with other tasks. Today, I'm with Bear River. Hello, Bear.
How's it going, Nick?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
Doing well. Getting ready for tonight's moon lecture.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Bear is also doing, at the time of this recording, he's doing a lecture for the Washington State Astrological Association tonight.
Yeah.
But he's also doing a lecture day 3 at NORWAC in the
Yeah.
Redondo Room 2:30 Pacific. The
Mhm.
title of the lecture is called The Intersectionality of Astrology. And just what is intersectionality? For those who don't know, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So intersectionality is a term that's used to describe a political theory. So some people might know it academically as critical theory, where you're looking at specifically the way that a person's experience with power and oppression plays out, especially along the lines of the experience of race, class, and gender. But that's definitely been expanded. I mean, these days there's like intersectionality of environmentalism and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
the origin is back in the 80s. I'll talk more about it in my lecture. Briefly the origin of it as a political process. I got exposed to intersectionality as a teenager involved in queer activism, where intersectionality is a way of looking at a person's experience, like I said, of power and privilege, of oppression, and using that as a tool to advance anti-oppression activism. So finding ways to bring people into enfranchisement, inclusion, and empowerment in a
Okay.
nutshell.
Okay. So and that is being brought into your lecture
Mm-hmm.
with astrology.
Yeah,
Uh,
big time.
yeah. And can you give them a hint of a little bit of how, in a sense, or how you bring the two?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there's obviously it'll be a little bit different whether we're talking about the consultation room or at an organizational level. So the first time I gave a mini version of this lecture to the Organization for Professional Astrology, OPA, I talked about the way that we can look at something simple like the significations of the planets as a rubric for identifying whether or not we are making something as accessible as possible, right? If oppression is institutional disenfranchisement, kind of the opposite would be institutionalized inclusion, right? So like
Hmm.
diversity or affirmative action, we're looking at really bringing people to the table and giving them power and a voice at the table, not just a seat. So we could look at Saturn. Do we have good rules, structure, boundaries that allows everybody to come to the table? To Jupiter, learn, expand, and grow? Do we give everybody the means to empower themselves and act? Do we bring Mars to everyone or just certain people? Do we have values that are accessible and include everybody? Are we doing Venus for everyone or just a few groups of people?
Right.
That kind of a thing.
Okay. Thanks for a little bit more detail for me in answering the question. I know for those watching, even for me, honestly, too. So,
Yeah.
and the title of your lecture and seeing what it is, I haven't seen this in the lecture circuit, and I've been to many different conferences over the years, and yeah, and I'm excited for this, and excited that it's at NORWAC, and
Mhm.
you know Bear, when did you attend NORWAC for the first time?
My very first NORWAC was in 2018 when NORWAC was happening in March because UAC was taking place that year.
Okay.
So I actually just was able to do Thursday and Friday. I should have left Friday after the last lecture, but because you shoulder tapped me and welcomed me into the group and started introducing me to folks, I happened to be in the lobby right as Carolyn Casey was looking to get rid of her dinner pass for the evening. So I got invited to dinner when I was supposed to be headed home and ended up sticking around. I got to hear Sam speak as I think that was like the opening keynote lecture. So
Yeah.
that really just which is really appropriate. He actually mentioned as I was doing the typical count that one does around the room, like how many other brown people are there? I
Hmm.
was getting up there pretty high, like, wow, there's a lot. I keep seeing so many people. And Sam just mentioned it, just called it out, here we are in a space where there is diversity. There's a growing number of brown people. It's not just one or two, there's like more than five. Um, and that did it for me. 2 days later, I started my website and my practice, and by that October, I was at OPA speaking about intersectionality of astrology, and 2 years later, I'm back in Norwalk talking about it.
Thank you for telling your story. It's amazing what happens when spaces are open.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and um, supporting and acknowledging, confirming anyone, everyone, and there's a
Mm,
lot of organic, I would say, magic that comes to that. And so,
big time.
yeah, big time. Bear, I appreciate you coming on the video and talking with us today.
Thanks so much for inviting me, Nick. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, and for anyone who's wants to take a look at our schedule of speakers, you can go to our website, norwac.net. If you want to register, you could do that. You could buy the 3-day pass, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Included with the 3-day pass is once the conference is over, you can watch 50 plus lectures, like all the lectures you didn't make during the weekend. You have 2 weeks to watch from the end of the conference. 50 plus lectures. That does not include the pre and post conference lectures. Those are separate, but you can purchase those also. Everything you need to know is on our website, norwac.net. Bear, I'll see you. We're going to see each other at the
Oh,
conference.
yes, indeed.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.